What's up, folks, and I appreciate you guys checking out the video. Now, I just want to tell you guys a few home truths about DayZ and SCUM and kind of where everyone is in the community that are feeling about this game right now, because there's a hell of a lot of controversy going on a lot of DayZ channels, and there's a lot of people mentioning SCUM, etc. Now, the last couple of weeks, Gamepire Crow Team have released SCUM, which was released on the 29th of August. Last month, and now it's been out for a couple of weeks now, and it's going really well. It's going really well. In fact, it's been going so well that it's kind of put DayZ on the back seat. And just yesterday I was checking around on YouTube Gaming, and there was about 5 people streaming DayZ and about 30 odd people streaming SCUM, and that's quite surprising to see on YouTube Gaming there. And the stats recently have been absolutely ridiculous. The last 24 hours you've had 2,000 players playing DayZ and nearly 40,000 people playing SCUM, which I can understand. The hype is out. Now, before anyone decides to just stop the video and start throwing out comments in the chat, please take a listen to what I have to say, because I've been playing DayZ for years and years and years, and only the last 7 months I've been playing DayZ standalone. Now, there's a big difference between the mod and standalone. The mod did really well. The community had a hold of most of that. And there was many maps, many mods, and it was absolutely fantastic. Now, my experience with DayZ standalone over the last several months hasn't exactly been pleasant, but it's been fun. And I've always stuck to my guns with how I feel. Now, when I get angry about where DayZ's going, etc., it's not the community that I'm angry with. It's far from it. I think DayZ has an awesome community. That you know, DayZ always has had that, but it's the devs that are really messing you guys around. If you're still a big DayZ fan right now. Now, don't get me wrong, I still like DayZ. It's done a hell of a lot for my channel. My channel has been around DayZ, and I've been playing DayZ since Arma 2 years and years ago. 10 years, like the last, you know, within the 10-year period, I've been playing it for years, and you know, got many hours in it. And then with going over to DayZ over the last several months, it's made me realise that the team just can't handle their deadlines, and the fact that over that period of time, their status reports are extremely vague, and they've been doing server testing for the most ridiculous items like scopes, trying out a different gun, and a few other little features that SCUM can do very well and very quickly, and don't need months and months and months of testing on. Now, there are some really cool features with SCUM right here. The map is only a quarter of the size it's going to be, which is going to be 4 times the size of Chernarus. Literally 4 times the size of Chernarus. That's basically how big the map's going to be, and you can even set the slider on the servers for up to 1,000 players, which I think is absolutely incredible, to say the least. Now, with DayZ, you've got a limit on the server, and where it's not even over to the community yet. With 0.63, you can't even get your own servers for it, and even when you do get your own servers, there's not much content in there to be able to use. I mean, obviously, most of our games are loot, kill, get killed. Basically, that's like you know, loot, kill, repeat, or whatever you want to call it. That's basically what's happening. But there's just so many problems with DayZ right now, and their engine is their biggest issue. They made it themselves. It's a very complicated engine that they run on. I can appreciate and respect that entirely. But the problem is, if you're going to be having all of these problems for long periods of time, then there's going to be other games coming out like SCUM that are going to really take over the survival genre. Now, there's a lot of things with SCUM that I find absolutely brilliant. It's not just the views, and the scenery and everything is just amazing. As you can see, the light there is just absolutely incredible. And even when you're looking down the scopes, it has, you know, range features and temperature, wind, everything. It's just amazing in every single way. It really is. And there's so much more to this game already than what DayZ has had since it started, which is last several years, 6 years or whatever it's been. But it's not early access. It feels more like late access with DayZ, and you never know what you're getting. It's inconsistent, and you end up waiting weeks and weeks for updates, etc. And my biggest beef with DayZ right now is the fact that they've now ported it over to Xbox, I think that's a great idea. Don't get me wrong, guys. I think that's a great idea. They've ported it over to Xbox. But the problem is the game's incomplete. So they're porting a game over that's incomplete already and full of issues. And when they gave out the 5,000 keys for the Xbox release, no one could get on the servers. And they're out in Australia promoting this. And it's, you know, I'm not a developer. I know that. I appreciate that. But this is just my opinion as a player, as a customer with the game. Now, a lot of the Xbox players are still quite hyped for it, but very quickly they're going to be like, well, when are we getting base building? When are we going to be getting vehicles and stuff like that? Their engine is their own worst enemy, and it's taking them forever to do anything. Whereas on the other side, you've got SCUM, you can loot, you've got the mechs, you've got scopes, you've got grenades, you've got a whole metabolism system, and that is one of the other things as well. There's one thing that I wanted from DayZ. And that was some form of character development, not just getting a character, looting up and dying, but I just wanted character development. So you can actually grow your stats. You can train your character to get better at sniping, get better at dexterity, get better at melee and handgun, and you can have all these little perks to your character, and you keep them even when you die. Even the only time you'll lose that is on a server restart, and that is absolutely brilliant to have some form of character development. It's amazing. It really and truly is, and that's something that DayZ hasn't done, and I think it's something they wanted to do but haven't been able to implement it on their engine. So a lot of people, this is why a lot of people are enjoying SCUM at the moment, because you've got the character development in there. You've also got the threats around military bases. You have these giant mechs that really cause a threat. It's not just PvP, it's these other features that you've got in, like the mechs. You've got the bears, you've got warthogs, you've got loads of animals, you've got dozens of animals all over the land that you can, that can potentially kill you, and you have to be really careful with it. The other thing that I wanted to mention was the fact that this actually has a map compared to DayZ as well. So you can have a map, you can see what sector you're in, you can meet up with your friends, and even so, when you meet up with your friends, you can even click on them and add them to a squad so their name appears above their head, which is nice and simple. And you can see where each other are. Now with DayZ, you can spend up to like 2 or 3 hours looking for your friend, and by the time you met him, it's your gaming session is over. You've got real life things to do, and it's just got to that point now where it's just got to that point now where players are getting fed up with the inconsistent updates, deadlines that can't be hit, and to be frank, they don't actually know what they're going to be bringing out on the next update, because everything changes. They implement this breaks, and looking at the system, looking back, it's a very clunky system that standalone do run on. You look at the characters in standalone, you look at the characters in SCUM. Now there's a massive difference there, a complete difference to how the characters work. And there's so many features with SCUM that are endless right now that I could go into, but it would take too long to say. Now, I didn't want this video at all to completely disrespect DayZ, but I think what they're doing and not listening to their community is really starting to show. And the numbers say everything. And the numbers are saying that no one's really sort of interested in DayZ at the moment, except for a lot of the Xbox players, because it's fairly new to them. That's fair enough. But there comes a point when they start taking too long, and I'm sorry, but if you're spending several months stress testing a server, you need to get new servers, or you need to get another engine, or you just need to do something. But they've butchered their own game, and it really has shown. And what annoys me most is they don't listen to their community when they say they do, because there's a lot of things they've implemented that a lot of the players do not actually want. Whereas SCUM, Gameplay Crow team, it seems like they've sat back, listened to what we've wanted, and come up with a game that has everything in there, and an incredible looting system as well, and a survival system, crafting system, metabolism system, and character development as well. So guys, I don't want the chat to be completely salty. The comments are going to be thrown about, I can imagine. But I do completely appreciate what DayZ have done and what they've attempted to do, but it just seems like there is no end, and I can't see a beta 1.0 or or a build 1.0 rather, and a full release. I cannot see that happening with DayZ, and SCUM have already surpassed what DayZ have done in the last several years. So with that being said, thank you very much for watching the video, guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.